Okay, let's talk about relationships and communication. It's a video that's sorely needed. We are terrible at relationships and communication, so it's definitely something that can be improved, and I'd like to help with that if I can. I'll do what I can. So, why are we terrible at it? Why are we terrible at relationships? Because we're terrible at communication. Why are we terrible at communication? Because we're brain fogged. Why are we brain fogged? Because we're lymphatically clogged and um, inflamed with poisons. Why do we have so many poisons? We're eating the wrong food. Primarily, there are obviously a lot of avenues for poison, like tap water. Never drink tap water. It has fluoride in it, and chlorine. They use chlorine gas to um, kill a lot of people in the Second World War, apparently. And that's what that vapor is when you're taking a hot shower. It's not steam, it's chlorine gas mixed with steam. So you'll notice if you have a shower on, um, say, tank water or just without chloride and chlorine and fluoride in it, you'll notice a lot less steam, and you won't have that heady kind of knocked out, weird, um, foggy, drugged out kind of state. You feel mostly normal. It's such a shame that these things are happening, and you're more than welcome to test it out. Don't drink fluoride for a couple of weeks, and you'll. I mean, the way it affected me, I started realizing certain things, and one dramatic thing that I noticed was I wouldn't stand for people doing the wrong thing. For example, I saw a bunch of teenagers scribbling all over public property with permanent markers, and I literally went over and grabbed it out of their hand. Like I was, as I was grabbing it out of their hand, I thought, "Oh my god, what am I doing?" But I knew it was the right thing to do, and I said, "Well, no, I didn't grab it out of their hand straight away. Like I don't approve of that sort of behaviour, but what I did first was I asked them to stop. I told them why they should stop. I told them they were scribbling on my property because it was public property, and um, I contribute to public works through my taxes. So I'd appreciate it if they didn't scribble on my property, and it's their property as well, but it's not solely belonging to them." They refused to stop, and so I got a little bit more serious. Still not being very calm, not raising my voice or anything. And then I took the texter out of his hand, or attempted to. Didn't actually grab it because I felt like, I don't know, it's bordering violence to take something out of someone's hand while they're using it. Of course, he was actually damaging my property, and I wasn't harming him by, well, even if I had successfully taken the texter out of his hand, I still wouldn't have been harming him or damaging his property. So I was well within my rights to do so. Um, I didn't get the texter, but they stole the avocados out of my arms. And so they were throwing it between each other and taunting me for a bit. But then when they realised I'm actually a good person trying to do a good thing, they actually ended up, funnily enough, they all ended up giving me back my avocados. And the last one, got a hair in my mouth or something. The last one, this guy was running around, and I just stopped and looked at him. I wasn't going to chase him. And he realised, I guess, I don't know, maybe he realised that I wasn't going to chase him, I'm not sure, and I wasn't going to get upset about it. So he ended up throwing it at me, and I just caught it midair and put it with my other avocados and walked away. I don't know how they took it. They were yelling things after me. I can't remember what they were saying. I wasn't paying too much attention. Probably something they were hoping would like spark an argument or something. I'm not totally sure what it was. It wasn't positive. I know that. They were definitely negative things that they were saying, just by the tone of voice, um, and from memory. But yeah, it's not worth remembering. Anyway, we're talking about communication. Why are we all clogged up lymphatically? We're poisoned. Those teenagers are a classic example of toxic poisoning, and it's something that is pretty ubiquitous in society today. Having to hold my laptop now so it doesn't shake. I hope. Oh man, my hands are going to shake too. I noticed that shaking. It's not really that important, I guess. Um, I am thinking of ways to improve this sort of thing. Can I do that? Maybe that wouldn't shake as much. I'm having to lean back because, yeah, just the space in here is a little bit strange. Um, anyway, I might do it in the front of the car next time. These kids were clearly poisoned in their minds. Otherwise, they would have been reasonable and um, nice, cordial human beings. Um, and 99.99% of people are poisoned in society because they drink tap water and they eat out and just eat normal food, normal, quote unquote normal. I mean, it's not good, but it's usual. It's the usual kind of food that people usually eat. Um, yeah. Anyway, communication. So the reason we can't communicate effectively is multifaceted. One reason is that we're poisoned. Another reason is that we're not getting the nutrition that we need. And there are a lot of nutritional elements that are undocumented, unresearched. Well, they have been researched by a couple of people, but they are definitely not researched by Big Pharma. Guess where all double-blind, placebo-controlled studies come from? I'll give you one guess. Time's up. Big Pharma. So you're not going to get any studies on this, apart from people paying for it out of their own pocket. And these studies can cost hundreds of thousands of, if not millions, if not billions of dollars. Like they put like so many millions of dollars research into this research. So it's hardly surprising that the majority of um, double-blind, placebo-controlled trials all say, without a doubt, hands down, that like pharmaceutical drugs are the best thing for every case. Um, in a case, this study was done on something called biophotons by Dr. Albert Pop. If you want to have a look it up. These biophotons, somehow plants can store photons, light energy, within their cells, and when we take it into our body, those biophotons go into our cells. I do not understand how it works. Okay, all the papers are in German. I've heard the results of the papers, but if you're German, please read them and provide feedback down below. I'd love to hear your comments. Anyway, these biophotons are detectable in the human body. The brighter and bluer they are, the healthier your cells are, and the more they can communicate, not only between each other within one body, but between people. So it's like a kind of telepathy. I definitely experience it on a daily basis, but it's not like I can read minds. I have been able to know what people are thinking in the past, but I don't think that was biophotons. I think the advantage people gain by eating raw foods containing biophotons from healthy plants, vegetables, fruits, mostly fruits for me, vast majority fruits, and sprouts, and spinach, a few other things. Maybe bunya nuts. Sprouted bunya nuts lately. Just incredible. Like I really appreciate the sprouted bunya nut. It's an Australian native nut that turns into a native tree that the Aboriginals apparently planted all up and down the east coast of Australia so that they could walk up and down the coast and literally they could have one bunya nut in their mouth all day and that would keep them going apparently. Um, which is incredible if you think about it. What kind of level? That's a whole other level of nutrition that we just don't get in our food today. So that's the kind of nutrition that I am ingesting at the moment. Anyway, this subtle kind of telepathy is more like you can kind of tell where people are at instantly. I haven't really tried. I mean, I look at people when I'm talking to them, so I'm not totally aware of like any kind of non-visual communication. Um, like so, I haven't tried. Have I? I feel like I can read people without looking at them. Several times. I mean, it's not uncommon though. Like if you feel someone looking at you, you can feel them looking at you. Um, the other day, I had some friends try and sneak up behind me, and I turned around the instant they were in visibility. It was so funny. They were like, "Oh, what?" Oh. They were like shocked. I my head span around. I looked straight at them. I didn't even know what I was looking at, and until I actually saw them. It was incredible. Um, so you can kind of tell where people are at. Like if someone's feeling uncomfortable, you instantly know, and you can. And because my mind is so clear of brain fog, I instantly know exactly what to say to make them calm. It's like a superpower. It's actually absolutely incredible. I highly recommend it. Like, if you hadn't guessed by now, detox your body, cleanse it out, do a juice fast. Like a juice fast is the fastest way to restore your biophoton level. Apparently, because you're just ingesting so many nutrients and um, so many plants. You can't eat that many plants in a day. Like, it will be absolutely impossible to fit them in unless you're juicing. And you're only getting rid of the insoluble fiber when you juice. You're not getting rid of all the soluble fiber, which is the fiber that we mostly use. Insoluble fiber, there is still some insoluble fiber, small amounts. Um, so it's enough for your bacteria in your large intestine to survive um, and live quite happily because they're not encumbered by toxins anymore and the overgrowth of pathogenic bacteria. There's just beneficial bacteria surviving in those conditions. So, it actually helps to restore your microbiome. Um, it's a funny thing about doing videos right in town. There are incredibly attractive girls walking by. I'm definitely very much a man and have probably a high hormone level, I imagine, right at the moment. Um, so I can't help but notice these things. Um, but yeah, anyway, you needed to know that for some reason. Um, that's another thing. All my relationships, male and female, are skyrocketing. Like I literally have the ability to make like 10 new friends every day. Like people who want to be my friend. It's insane. But the fact is, I I resonate at such a high frequency. I believe. Um, if anyone's like slightly egoic or taking any kind of drugs, I don't resonate with them very well. If they haven't done cleansing, I definitely don't. I don't think I resonate with anyone who hasn't done some kind of intestinal cleansing. And it's something that I find out afterwards. I'm not asking them straight up like, "Have you done intestinal cleansing?" Oh no, I can't talk to you. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I get to know them pretty well. I get along with them, and then I find out every single one of them is has done an intestinal cleanse of some kind. Every one of them. So, I mean, I know it's essential. I know that It does raise your vibe and your ability to communicate. I don't want to say telepathically because telepathy, I mean, it implies some kind of leeching of information. That's not what's happening. It's all emotional qualities that are being offered, and the other person is hoping that you will pick up on it. And women do it a lot. They feel like you should be picking up on all their emotions. And the great thing about this kind of communication and something that would help greatly in your communications and relationships, personal, like romantic relationships, especially, is being able to basically pick up on these things that women expect us to pick up on. You actually do pick up on it way in advance. Even they don't even know that they've really transmitted the information before. Like I've picked up on it before they realize they're trying to tell me, and they're amazed. Like the women that I've been in close contact with, yeah, never met someone like me, and I know there's no one like me because I meet a heck of a lot of people. Um, so I mean, really, all that to say, do a cleanse, do a juice fast, get on the raw foods, get on the raw vegan lifestyle. Um, if you're worried about B12, you get it through the soil. So literally walking in mud gives you all the B12 you need. Um, Buying all organic veggies and never washing your food, it's the worst thing you can possibly do for your health. It's terrible. Dirt is the cleanest thing ever. That's why it's called dirt, because it's actually clean. Like, if you're not aware of it yet, the English language has been corrupted. Not only the English language, but probably most languages have been corrupted to some degree. And it's a shame because dirt, I mean, people, in Africa, for example, and places where they are aware of the natural world and are in harmony with it, or trying to be, they're being sort of pushed out of that mode as much as possible by the banks and all the powers that were. I don't like to say be. They definitely were, and hopefully they're becoming extinct very rapidly as we speak. If not now, then soon. So these populations, say in Africa, they use dirt to clean themselves. Um, and what do they need to clean themselves from? Grease, petrochemicals, like unnatural oils, like vegetable oil. Like I've been swimming in the ocean for the last few days. I had to stop because I was literally getting so much vegetable oil all over me. How do I know it's vegetable oil? Well, you'd think that in a sewage treatment plant they would treat the sewage, but you know what they do with it? They just pump it out into the ocean. At least here in Australia, it's all just pumped out a few kilometres out into the ocean, and all that human shit. Can you imagine the shit of every single person on the whole east coast of Australia just being pumped straight into the ocean? Anyway, the ocean does cleanse it. Like it's a famous, in the natural world, it's famous for cleansing anything that's sort of put into it. And it's having a lot of trouble right now, I'll tell you that. But it's doing a lot of purging. I think there's a lot of crap coming out of the ocean which has been there for a while, evidenced by, oh, I might have it here. Where is it? Can't see it, but I found a spray bottle. Looks like it's some kind of solvent. I couldn't read it all. I do read some Japanese, and I couldn't make much sense of it, to be honest. It looks like a bottle of solvent, and it's all in Japanese. Like there are some countries like Thailand, Philippines, where they do import things straight from Japan, but they put their own labels on it and have their own words, language on the labels. This didn't have any of that. It was from Japan, and I found another some kind of industrial spray gun um, from America that had a power lead with the American prongs on it. I assume it was America. I'm trying to think of anywhere else around this region where it could have been. I mean, what I think it was probably some kind of oil rig or some kind of boat taking an American crew that something fell overboard or something like that. I'm not sure. Looked like some kind of gun to spray poison or to spray paint or something along those lines. In any case, the ocean is full of shit, like human shit, and the only thing that would survive the churning and cleansing of the ocean would be unnatural vegetable oils. And that's exactly what I feel like was coating my skin after I got out. And everyone who's going in, apparently, like the people that I've talked to, they get blocked ears immediately, including myself. It's like the oil can't get out; it just gets trapped in your sinuses and in your ear. Like I really don't want to swim in it anymore. It's disgusting. Prefer to swim in tea tree lakes or something like that, which we have an abundance of around. So, oh, by the way, useful fact. I was going to finish up the video, but useful fact. A lot of our hydration actually comes from being immersed in water, not from drinking. They'll say, oh, you've got to drink 4 liters of water a day. Yeah, that's because you're full of poisons. Like, if you want to flush out all the poisons in your body, you've got to drink 4 liters a day. But if you're healthy, largely free of poison, I'll probably drink about, oh gosh, I'll probably drink quite a bit actually. 2.5 liters a day, just because I enjoy it. I like it. I always put wheatgrass juice powder, not wheatgrass powder, wheatgrass juice powder. You can only get it from America. It's incredible stuff. Fills your body with electricity, which your whole body works on electricity, obviously. All your neurons and your brain works on electricity, electrical impulses. So you need it. And every chemical interaction, every chemical reaction in your body happens. Attractive girl, just in case you didn't realize what I was looking at. So it's only 2. I'm not like constantly. Anyway, so getting back to the main point of this video, communication and relationships. Attempting to finish up. Relationships are bad because communication's bad. Communication's bad because we're brain fogged and we haven't got the right nutrition. So I've covered the right nutrition as far as what we should be eating. 100% raw foods, mostly fruits, sometimes vegetables, nuts, sprouted nuts, not straight like non-organic. Everything's organic, by the way. Everything you should eat, because non-organic just means poisoned. Poison for insects. Do you think that affects your gut microbiome? Do you think it affects the cells in your body? The cells in your body are much smaller than insects. Much smaller. So, do you think those poisons could affect your cells in your body? Like, you're made up of something like 10 trillion cells, something like that, 100 trillion cells, whatever it is. And then a lot, like, how much? I think a third of your body weight or something is bacteria. Supporting bacteria, like healthy bacteria. So, if you're taking pesticides, herbicides, fungicides into your body, like, it's not going to be good for you. You need to support the body, and your body can get rid of any pathogenic, non-bacteria or non-beneficial funguses, yeasts, viruses, anything. Well, viruses. Yeah, anyway, that's a whole other topic I don't want to go into because that'll take hours. So that's the nutrition side, and the poison side, obviously, you need to do a cleanse. And I recommend the So Easy cleanse. I make nothing out of it at the moment. I should in the future because I believe in it so strongly. I'm a massive advocate for the cleanse, and I may include some links at some stage, but not right at the moment. So do that cleanse. Preferable to do a juice fast. I did 40 days. I recommend 120 days, or for as long as you can. It's not really absolutely necessary to do 120 days if you do that cleanse. If you don't do the cleanse, I definitely recommend 120 days plus using psyllium and bentonite shakes and all that sort of stuff to get rid of the mucoid plaque. Takes a lot longer, costs a lot more, but you know, I mean, it's a lot harder, but you know, whatever floats your boat. Um, do whatever you feel like, and then once you've done that, go straight to 100% raw, which will be easy by that stage. Like the cleanse gets rid of all the toxic sludge in your intestines, and then you can absorb all your food, and you haven't got toxins leaching into your blood constantly, or like rotting meat leaching through your tissues. That's why people smell, by the way, because there's rotting meat literally sitting in their gut and making them like putrefying and leaching into all their tissues. It's pretty disgusting, but that's the reality of it. And yeah, I definitely don't smell anymore. My urine barely smells. My poo, yeah, sometimes it smells a bit, but it just smells like fruit that's off, maybe. It smells somewhere between off fruit and poo, normal poo. To be honest, yeah, and sometimes it doesn't smell at all, nothing. And I have done a couple of farts that smelled great. That literally smelled awesome. But that's only twice. You know, most of the time it doesn't smell at all. It smells like nothing. Um, and once in a month, it might smell slightly like it smells a little bit like an actual fart. Like anyway, about my bodily smells. So once you go raw vegan, I mean, it's a game changer. Your mind is so much clearer. You getting rid of all your trauma, which is where a lot of our miscommunications come from, and you're also clear enough to be able to circumvent any drama that comes your way. Circumvent means to go around it. So your mind is so quick that you can work out exactly the right thing to say at exactly the right time, and all arguments, no matter how much shade or hate the other person's throwing your way, you can always outwit the devil. Because you're not trying to outwit them, you're actually trying to help them, the person. You're just trying to outwit the parasites that are trying to cause an argument to blow the relationship apart. Because they don't want to be around you. You know, like they don't want to be around anyone. Like, yeah, just I'm reminded of this one woman who couldn't understand why she blew like all her relationships with horrible men who were trying to dominate her and always having arguments. No, she was causing arguments. She just didn't realize what she was doing. She was causing every single argument. I'm 100% sure. She tried to cause like at least 10 arguments in one morning. Like, and I dodged every single one of them. It's incredible. I felt like a absolute like conversation ninja. It was awesome. Um, but anyway, I feel like every problem has one solution, honestly. It's just like go raw vegan. Like I don't know, I can't see any human problems that actually can't be solved without just that one thing. And then to become the absolute shining light and example. Well, the thing is, all the power doesn't really come from just being clean of fruit and vegetables. Like you've probably seen raw vegans who are just like they don't seem particularly enlightened at all. It's it's the fact that the cleansing leaves room for the spirit to come in, and the spirit is the power. That's where all the power, the strength, the acuity, the emotional dexterity, the conversational dexterity comes from. Is the spirit inhabiting your. And I point here for a reason. Like that is thought to be the home of the spirit, the solar plexus, the heart, right here, the core of your being. So literally just do it.